Here are 5 rookies I love heading into the 2025 NFL draft. Let's start out with DJ Giddens, running back, 6 foot 212. I do like the size, 3-down ability. Yeah, he's not going to be a full-time 3-down back for sure, but he can run on early downs. He also can chip in the receiving game. And during the 2024 college season, Giddens ran for over 1,300 yards, and his yards per carry, 6.6. Very effective player. What I like about Giddens, when he gets hit, that contact balance stays there. He does not go down easily. And as a runner, when he's navigating the holes to run to, the vision and the patience he shows are exceptional. He makes the right cuts at the right times. He understands, and he has enough size, and for his size, enough power to withstand a workload of decent size in the NFL level. Now, I really liked his work at the NFL Combine. In terms of his 40 time, 73rd percentile. And at his size, that kid was very impressive. But his explosiveness, 89th percentile. So getting out of the blocks, does so very quickly. Agility was above average, 57th percentile. You put that all together with the college production and that testing, and all of a sudden, Giddens is a player I am very excited to see in the NFL. The next player I love is Jalen Royals. Now, Royals had a foot injury, but 6 foot 205. He can either play the Z receiver, which again is lines a little off the line of scrimmage, doesn't take on that always that tight man-to-man coverage. He also could play the slot, where I like him best at 6 foot 205. He'd be taller for the slot, but it's the speed. And I know he only tested in the 60th percentile at the combine, but I do believe his play speed will look better than that. And I do believe that Royals can show us 15.2 yards perception in college. I do believe playing out of the slot or the stretch vertical Z downfield, I believe he can be a very impactful player at the NFL level. He is a very explosive, gets into his routes quickly and with authority. His hands, he has been very good. Tough catches, grabs him in traffic. That was very impressive. His route running, the cuts are sharp and efficient, gets in and out of his breaks with ease. And he's versatile, like I said earlier. Whether you want to use them in the slot, use them outside, because matchups are so critical in today's NFL defense, where we see zone played about 73% of the time. Another player I love in the 2025 draft is Colston Loveland, the tight end. Look, as a fantasy football enthusiast, we love those players that potentially could be big-time producers at tight end. 6'5", 245. Loveland is a player that you could put him at tight end. You can move him in the slot, or you can line him up outside, because he moves like a wide receiver in a tight end's body, but he also has phenomenal hands, and with his size, he can get up there for the catches. But again, he makes those tough catches look easy. And that versatility, it just helps an offensive coordinator set up a defense and find weaknesses by either putting Loveland on a less talented defender or moving him to an isolated side of the field to help other players succeed. He is a type of player that the coaches can use to create the mismatches that are very important for successful offenses in the National Football League. Another player I love in the NFL draft of 2025 is Quinshon Judkins, running back, 6 foot 221. So we like the size, definitely has lead back size. He split backfield time with Travion Henderson in college. So both running backs took work away from each other. But I believe we saw Judkins in the bowl game. He's a closer. We know this guy could take a game over when he needs him. Even though he wasn't used as much as the receivers we'd have liked, what I saw makes me believe that he does have very good receiving ability. I believe he will look better as a receiver in the pros than he was in his limited opportunities in college. Runs with physicality, very tough, fights for extra yards, the vision and patience, very good when he's setting up a run to see where the blocks are, to see when to navigate, when to cut, does that well. Durability, I think that his frame is going to allow him to hold up. During the combine, his 40 time was in the 46th percentile, but at 221 pounds, that doesn't bother me. When you're that heavy of a back, you're not running an 80th percentile 40 on most occasions. So the speed is good enough. But what I liked was the 89th percentile explosiveness. We know that Judkins can get into his run at top speed very quickly. All right, one more player I like, Oronde Gadsden. Look, he's a tight end, but he ends up as a wide receiver. He's 223 pounds. That is a very, very light player. So whether he plays receiver, whether he plays tight end, I know in his rookie year he'll be classified as a tight end for fantasy. But this is a player, his dad was a receiver for the Dolphins way back in the day. And his dad was not a superstar, but he was a very impressive player. But I do like the idea that Gadsden is getting an opportunity to play in the same league his dad did. But he can create mismatches. His size makes him an interesting player. If you put him inside, he is going to create problems for the interior defenders. On the outside, when you move him around, again, I just like the speed that he brings, elite hands, catches everything thrown his way. And when the ball is up in the air, he's really good at high pointing it. And so I really like that. And his route running is outstanding in that he moves like a wide receiver. And again, he may be cast as one, but I love it if the team kept him as a move tight end because it'll get him out of the difficult matchups. I don't want him against alpha cornerbacks in the NFL. I want him against slot corners. I want him against linebackers. And I want to use those mismatches to make the best out of Oronde Gadsden's NFL future.